So here we go with question 2. Sketch the graph of y equals 8 to the x, stating the coordinates of any point where the graph crosses the coordinate axes. So basically sketch the graph and do the usual things. Well, hopefully we've learnt the graph of y equals a to the x is the exponential growth, so it's going to look like that. Make sure you draw your axes with a ruler, and at this end there's no hint of the graph turning away from the x-axis. Okay, so that's why y equals 8 to the x. We've got to label the graph, or at x equals 0, because that's where it crosses the y-axis. Y equals 8 to the 0, which hopefully you know is 1. You can use a calculator, obviously, if you need to. Part B. B part 1. Describe fully the transformation. The transformation which transforms the graph y equals 8 to the x to the graph y equals 8x to the minus 1. So again, this is a little bit of factual knowledge. F of x mapped onto f of x plus a. Yeah, the change here is from x to x minus 1. So it's changing the x, by adding something to the x, okay, it's minus 1, before we apply the shape to it, if you like, 8, the exponential shape to it. So here, this is a translation, and it's sideways. So yeah, we're changing x, not y, so the y component of the translation is 0, and it's negative a. It's the opposite to what you expect. Yeah. So in this particular case then, the transformation is a translation vector 0 in the y direction. Now we would be taking off 1, minus 1, and minus 1 is plus 1. Okay, part 2. Again, read carefully. But this time we're starting with x to the minus 1. Describe the transformation which transforms the graph y equals 8x to the minus 1 to 8x to the minus 1 plus the 5. So this time the plus 5 is outside of the x. It's not right next to the x. So in terms of our transformations, it's a function in x transformed onto a function of f of x plus a. Yeah, the plus 5 is outside the function which is giving the shape. Yeah, it's outside the bit that's giving the shape. It's just moving it. So here the translation is 0 across. We're not changing the x value by adding this a, we're changing the y value. So it's going to go up a. So our answer in this particular case then, the transformation is a translation 0 across, and let's check it here, plus 5.